In 1920, Hungarian physician Blas Schick ran a highly questionable experiment. He asked several women, some on their periods, to briefly hold flowers. Then, without proper controls, and relying solely on his own observations, he claimed that the blooms held by menstruating women wilted more quickly. Schick's explanation was not only unscientific, it also reinforced age-old myths about menstruation. He concluded that menstruating women's bodies release toxins, excreted through sweat and blood, that could kill plants. It took decades to fully debunk this so-called menstrual toxin hypothesis. But interestingly, some good did come from it. The claim pushed researchers to investigate the actual composition of menstrual fluid, eventually leading to discoveries that helped explain a very real problem. Period cramps. Today, anywhere from 50 to 90% of people who menstruate experience painful abdominal or pelvic cramps during their period, a condition known as dysmenorrhea. For some, it's mild discomfort. For others, it's throbbing aches. And for many, contraction-like cramps that rival the pain of labor. The pain can spread into the lower back and thighs and may come with bloating, nausea, or even vomiting. And for at least 10% of people who menstruate, these symptoms are so severe that they disrupt everyday life. Healthcare experts classify dysmenorrhea into two main types: primary and secondary. Secondary dysmenorrhea is linked to underlying medical conditions. For example, endometriosis, where tissue similar to the uterine lining grows outside the uterus. Or uterine fibroids, non-cancerous growths that can press against nearby organs. These conditions can cause inflammation, scarring, and physical pressure, all of which may contribute to pain. Yet interestingly, the intensity of cramps doesn't always match the severity of these conditions. And because these disorders vary so widely, treatment outcomes vary too. Primary dysmenorrhea, on the other hand, is far more common. It refers to painful menstrual cramps that cannot be traced to any identifiable medical condition. Now, despite how flawed Schick's experiments were, they helped steer research in an important direction. Why period cramps can be so painful? Actually, in the 1960s and 70s, scientists analyzing menstrual fluid discovered compounds called prostaglandins. Further research revealed that many individuals with painful period cramps tend to have higher levels of prostaglandins. One of prostaglandins' key roles is stimulating the muscles of the uterus to contract, an essential step in shedding the uterine lining. But when prostaglandin levels are elevated, those contractions can become stronger and more painful. Prostaglandins can also constrict nearby blood vessels, reducing oxygen flow to uterine tissue. This lack of oxygen triggers the release of chemicals that activate pain receptors. That's why common over-the-counter medications like ibuprofen and naproxen, which reduce prostaglandin production, can provide relief for many people. Others find hormone-based contraceptives helpful. By thinning the uterine lining, these treatments reduce prostaglandin production in the first place. However, while prostaglandin research transformed our understanding of menstrual pain, it's now clear they are only part of the story. Recent research suggests that multiple factors contribute to period cramps: hormonal shifts, inflammation, brain pain pathways, and possibly even the microbiome. Because menstrual pain is not fully understood, current treatments don't work for everyone. And on top of that, discussing period pain still carries social discomfort or stigma in many communities. As a result, many people feel they must simply endure the pain. But severe, recurring cramps are not harmless. Some experts believe that repeated exposure to intense pain may sensitize the nervous system, increasing the risk of developing chronic pain conditions later in life, which is why continued research is critical. We need to better understand the biological drivers behind this common experience and develop more effective treatments. That work begins with something simple: recognizing that period pain is real and that it affects hundreds of millions of people around the world. If this sparked your curiosity, you're already one of us. Because knowledge grows when it's shared. This is Illuminate Science, where curiosity turns into clarity.